All right, we are live, going live right now. Uh, I think we're live. Hey, Mason. Mason, come here. Turn this. Still trying to figure out this transition thing about how going into live works. So let's see who is in here. I'm sorry, we're trying to figure out this live stuff. Uh, I think we're here. Yeah, here we go. Yep, I think we're live, officially live right now. Yeah, for sure. Sorry, guys. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the world. And really today, I want you guys to chime in and just ask me some questions because I know a lot of us are quarantined. We're just sitting around. We're doing nothing, and we're just wanting to talk fishing. You get tired of talking fishing to the same people. Uh, so anything that you guys want to talk about, just let me know. We're going to look in here to the live stream. Oh, yeah. We got Alan, Chris, Hampton, Upstate Angler, you big supporter of the channel, Ranger Bull, Jared, John, big supporter, Hampton, big support, Jared, big supporter. Hate that we're going to miss you back in Raleigh. Hope you can make it back soon. Yeah, for most of y'all that know, they canceled our Raleigh tournament that was going to be at uh, Falls Lake, I think is what it was. Falls Lake. And, looking forward to that. And I mentioned just a little while ago that, yeah, we're basically jobless right now. When I say we, I'm talking FLW, Major League Fishing, Bassmasters. Yeah, we're pretty much jobless right now. So I want to just, I'm getting bored sitting around the house myself, and I want to just open this up to whatever you guys want to talk about. Anything you want to talk about. I can see your comments coming in. Guys, I do have in the background right here, which, oh, nope, here we go. Which is, guys, oh man. Hey, Mason, come here for a sec. Why isn't this highlighting up? What's up, Terry? Wild Scorpion, tell me what that's about. What's the best rooster tail brand? Here we go. We're moving my comments over to the other side so I can. We're just learning about this, guys. So just be a little bit patient. We're gonna have fun with this. Actually, I got some. Be giving away some autographed lures tonight to some of the best comments, people that chime in and give thumbs up. I'm going to eventually ask you for your address, so DM me on Instagram if you are the winner of one of these autographed baits tonight. So it'd be pretty fun. I love watching. There's Dan Richards, my man who's up in Canada. He's probably frozen. So let's jump into some questions. Here we go. When was the last time you fished Smith Mountain Lake, which Smith Mountain Lake is my home lake, and actually fished it today? They're on the bed. They're not on the bed strong, but fishing is tough unless you find one on the bed and know how to catch it. Droid, yep, healthy and doing well so far. But Droid, I've already kind of made up in my mind that I'm going to catch it. Now, I think we're all probably going to get it. This thing is echoing in my head. I don't know how to turn this sucker down. I don't know if that's it or not. Hello? I ain't putting them on. Yeah, this is I think we're all going to get it eventually. Just I've already embraced myself knowing that I'm going to get it. So knowing that I'm going to get it and just embracing myself for it. Let's go to another question. Hey, brother, looking forward to watching you. Yep, Gary Lucas is talking about spinning rods. So for you guys that don't really know, yes, spinning rods are a big part of my my arsenal. I do use a spinning rod a ton. It's one of the main things that has brought me in. Actually, if you go back and watch some of the Lake Fork videos that you guys have seen, you see Jordan Lee here holding up a spinning rod. And actually, you can buy a lot of the products I talk about on FishermanCentral.com, which you can see right here, which is pretty cool. So if y'all want to see some baits or you start asking about certain baits, I can pull them up on FishermanCentral.com. But look at what Dustin Connell and what's that other guy's name that caught that 10-pounder on a spinning rod. You watched all these big fish being caught on a spinning rod. Upstate Angler, appreciate the support there. But all the other guys, spinning rods are a big thing. I actually did a talk on how spinning rods are becoming almost more of a player than bait casters. Now, I know a lot of y'all might start arguing with me on that, but just, if proof is in the pudding, when you watch a lot of these live footages, you see where that spinning rods are becoming a big player. They truly are. And, Chris Cole come in with a good support of the channel, man. I do appreciate that. So John Blossom comes in. What size rod spinning reel do you use for the Ned rig? That's a good question, John. I use 3,000, size 3,000 reels for all of my spinning rod setup. I don't go to a 2,500. It's 3,000 whether I'm throwing a Ned rig, a drop shot. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, is what I like to go for. Let's see. Have you ever fished near Nashville? Yeah, actually, I have fished near Nashville. What is that lake called? Old Hickory Lake. I have fished that. It's a really good lake to fish. You can fish both deep and offshore there. Here we go. Questions coming in. Are they looking at rescheduling the rest of the season, or is it too early? So Tom asked, are they looking at rescheduling the rest of the season, or is it too early? We had a conference call today. When I say we, meaning MLF anglers, we had a conference call today, and I know they postponed the Raleigh one. I think they're going to postpone the next one. But it's too early to say, Tom. I mean, we really don't know where it's going, and pretty much that was the call today. It was hard for us to answer, for the leaders to answer any questions because we really don't know. We don't know where this virus is going to take us, so we're really just kind of sitting in limbo.
Answer Chris Coleman.
Chris Coleman?
The guy that donated.
Okay. Chris Coleman. How do I decide when to throw a wacky versus a shaky head and a trick worm versus a Senko? That's a good question, Chris. And with that question, I'm going to, if it's beginning of the year, depending on where I'm at, if I'm in spotted bass fisheries, I do like to throw like a trick worm for a wacky worm, and besides that, most of the time I'm throwing a Senko for my wacky rig if I'm in largemouth territory. And the shaky head, I do not throw a shaky head, Chris, when it is a lot of grass. Shaky heads come early season. And then when we get in May, I don't throw it as much. I use lighter shaky heads. And then as I get towards summer and fall, I start throwing the shaky head a lot more. But really the month of May, right after the spawn, when fry are up, I don't throw the shaky head as much. But before the spawn and after the spawn, transitioning into summer, great question, Chris. That's pretty much when I do a lot of my searching. Let's see here. We're going to get back to... If you guys have never visited Fisherman Central, I'm telling you, this is where I buy all my tackle from, of course. Let's get to another question here. Hampton says, could you please explain the herring spawn and the shad spawn? All right. The herring spawn and the shad spawn kind of are one and two in the other. It is a typically when the water gets a lot higher. So I know in our area when you get in May is when you start seeing the shad spawn, and basically they come up to the rocks at night. They typically like to spawn around a lot of rocks. They come up at night, and you hear us talking about the shad spawn. They'll spawn underneath black floaters like marinas, where the black floaters hold a lot of heat. I don't know if their eggs actually do any good around that, because if they're knocking eggs out and they drop down to 100 foot of water, I'm not sure if they're spawning. I would assume the ones that are spawn up there on the rocks are spawning. The herring spawn is the same way. You know, they're in and out a lot, just like the other shad. I think the herring bite is overrated in a lot of ways. So that's a little bit of difference. Just a quick view of it. Let's see here. Is the River Fishers asks, is the river spawn the same? Is the river spawn the same as the spawn on a lake? Yes, in the fact that time of year it's going to be the same, but you're going to look in different areas on a river than you will a lake. So in a lake, they're going to spawn out on the main channel. They're not always in the back ends of the pockets. Rivers, they're going to need slack water to spawn in, relatively speaking. Not super high current, but even if there's current, it's okay. But relatively, they're looking for slack water. Let's go to another question, John. John Puckett says basically he hates a spinnerbait. You know, there's really two, when it comes to spinnerbaits, John, I throw two different types of spinnerbaits. I don't throw them much either because the bladed baits have taken over. But when it comes to spinnerbaits, I'm going to throw two 4.5 inch willow leafs and two 4.5 inch willow leafs and a Indiana Colorado combination. Now you can play around with color of blades or whatever it is, but you know, it's really just the two. Really, that's only the two combinations that I throw. What do you mean by the herring spawn being overrated? What I mean by that is the herring spawn is not much different than the threadfin spawn. Now, when herrings get to roaming out there, I mean, a herring to a bass is like a Snickers bar. They love a herring. They want to eat them. And because they're so delicious, they're going to track them down wherever they go. So, for sure, you know, they're about the same during the spawn. Now, after the spawn is when you begin to differentiate between the herring bite and the threadfin bite. That was a good question. Thanks for following up on that. Yep, Dan Richards says, he says, are you about to sell and about ready to? Yep, we have. I've been working on rods for 2 years, guys. 2 years I've been working on it. And last year I won Angler of the Year on all the prototype rods. You can actually see them in my videos if you go back and surf the channel. But the rods are going to be available. You can actually look them up on proficiencyrods.com. And coming this September, they are going to be entering stores worldwide. I'm excited about it. They are rods that I built. That I took a lot of pride in. I used some rods. I had a buffet of rods that I used. So I took the 5 best rods that I liked, wanted to make them my own, and put them at a price point that everybody can afford. So check them out. Thanks for that, Dan. Top Gun says, I prefer Mars bars. Scott McFalls, big supporter of channel. What your take on high-vis? Oh, Scott asked, what is your take on high-vis braid for you? I do not use it. I know a lot of people do. Cody Meyer, the guy I'm rooming with, he uses it. When it could be good, Scott, and it could not be. I don't know. I just have elected not to use it. So, I don't use it. What new baits you have coming out? The shutter bait that you have is really good. I've caught some nice fish on it. I haven't developed any new baits here recently, but, I'm looking at building a bladed bait, a different bladed bait, and a swim jig. Michael, man, I did a video. I see your comment there, Michael. He's talking about TVA lakes, Sand Rayburn being one on deep diving crankbaits, and I've taken the bullet a few times on that. So again, I'll say majority, Michael, not minority. The one lake you're talking about, Rayburn, yes, deep cranks are going to play a player, but majority of lakes, plastics still dominate. I know that I've ruffled a lot of people's feathers looking at the I ruffled a lot of people's feathers when I started talking about deep diving crankbaits, looking at the trend. We look at Lake Fork. We watched Mark Daniels, all the spinning rods. Here we are at Lake Fork, and spinning rods and plastics and plastic frogs and stuff are dominating. So I know I probably ruffled a lot of feathers, but again, majority, not minority. Even if you take the few TVA lakes, Michael, you're only talking, Kentucky Lake, Pickwick. It's just a few down through there, but we're talking majority. Okay. Addicted. I tried to get Scott to do the 5 lure challenge, but he kept backing out and backing out and backing out. I think he truly was scared to do it. I looked at his tackle one time and it really didn't. I don't blame him for backing out of it, but I did try to get him. Gary says, with all the bladed baits, if you understood, Gary, it's a fair question for Gary asks. He says, why with all the bladed baits would you come out with your own? Well, there's a lot of things I know about a bladed bait that the majority of people don't understand. And when you see it, Gary, you will understand for sure. Yes, Danielle asked, do they have good gosh, Danielle. Yes, they have the most phenomenal store that I've ever seen, okay? Not only can you find them on the website, but you can find them. And I think they have 30,000 pegs. If somebody on here knows about the store, Fisherman Central, it blows Bass Pro Shop. It blows anything away. If you want it, they got it. Like, watch this. I'm going to click on, let me minimize this here. No, I want to minimize me. Hold on a second, y'all. Give me a second. All right, whoa. Oh, now I'm upside down. How did I do that? All right, so I'm talking upside down. Mason, come on in here. So, guys, if you really wanted to find something, we could just go. Well, I got to come on this side. We're going to go swim baits. I mean, we could go anywhere from hard body to soft body. And I know a lot of you guys have been throwing, of course, soft body swim baits. So here we go. Just look at the selection they have online. I mean, it is incredible. Incredible, We could go on to page 2, page 3, page 4, and that's just his soft body swim baits. That's all the way to page 4. So if we look at what are some swim baits you guys like to throw? I know you guys like to throw a lot of good swim baits, but you got boom booms. There's like not including yep, they actually selling boats now. Scott Sillaby says the Fluke. What's up, Scott? So we all know like the mag draft is. How many of y'all throw the mag draft? Y'all want to talk about the mag draft? We know Chris Zaldane has made that darn thing popular, but when it comes to baits, you guys can see it here in the background behind me. They have it. I mean, here we go. We got the freestyle mag drafts. We got the of course Mega Bass Spark Shad. They got Kotek. They got everything there. So yes, for sure. Big Bites Cane Thumper Hamper says the Cane Thumper. I actually threw that a little bit, and I did have some success on it, for sure. Hampton, that's a decent swim bait. A lot of guys, a lot of swim baits do not work. I don't care how pretty they look, but I have studied swim baits a lot, and some swim baits just do not work whatsoever. Let's see. Maddie Stump says, "Hey Dave, it's Finn from Ohio. What thread fin shed live in a 5/8 wood is Finn? What's up, Finn? Yeah, you could stock them in there, but I'm pretty sure the bass are going to eat them up pretty quick and fast. We got Texas bass. What about the Rage Tail? Don't throw it. Haven't heard much good talk about that, but I've thrown a lot of the Kotex. Price range, Chris, is going to be anywhere from $75 to $100 ballpark is what we're looking at on price for that. What are some other baits you guys know about that I don't know about? And by the way, guys, whoever is joining in on this, I'm going to be autographing some. Actually, we could go ahead and do that right now. So, here's how we're going to do it. You guys comment below and start commenting, and I'm just literally just going to randomly pick, just kind of look at my comments, and I'm going to call you out. So, listen for me to call you out. I'm going to sign my name on this, give you an autograph, and sign it to you. So, if you write in there, I want one, just comment in there, I want one, you will be eligible to win this autographed, broken, it's actually broken, but who cares, this autographed Mega Bass jerkbait. It's got teeth marks on it. So if you want one, just say, hey, I want one, and I'm going to look at the comments below. Any of y'all scared of what's going on? Huh? Any of y'all scared about this virus? Any of y'all have the virus? This is pretty much for real. There we go. I want one. I want one. Here we go. All right. So I'm actually going to... It doesn't matter. Here's the thing now. It doesn't matter if you're first or last. I'm just going to scroll up and get one. Rusty Parker says, nope. You might just win for that. How about that? Nope, you're not going to win. All right, so here we go. How about let's go with... let me stop. I'm going to go over here, look up. I'm going to scroll back up a little bit. And Tim Yoder. Make sure you DM me on Instagram. You just won the first autographed Megabass jerkbait. And actually, I got one more that we're going to do at the end. So, Tim Yoder, you DM me on Instagram, and we will... I'll send you one. But I got another one coming up that we'll do here in a little bit. So fire back at some questions, okay? Fire back. Let's get back into discussion time. Yes, Charles, you're right, man. I am scared for my mom. I am scared for my dad. I'm not my dad. My some of my older relatives. That it's a scary thing, no doubt. Scary thing. Soft baits. While I'm waiting on, we're going to go to Terminal Tackle. Shaky Jig Heads. And look at here, guys. Look right here. Perfection. There we go. Look at, man, he's got an awesome price on it. $5.49, guys. Right there. All right. Daniel says, are you still fishing with the old Mercury? Nope, got a new one. A lot of ramps are closed. All right, so Vision Alex, he says, David, you or any of the big name tournament guys fish swim baits at all, big swim baits at all? For 4 days, you know, when it comes to big swim baits, 4-day tournaments, typically big swim baits are going to bite you 1 or 2 of those days, and you're not. Big bait swim baits dominate 1-day tournaments, but on a 4-day format, not many of us throw them. We might throw it a little bit if if it presents us the right time, but not really. Not on 4-day events. But good question, man. That was a good thought question. What are your thoughts on the orange Z-Man chatterbait everyone is going crazy over? It's nothing but a skirt. I mean, it truly is. It's nothing but a skirt. I've had them in my box for a while. It got exposed, but it's nothing but a skirt. Just put a red or orange skirt on, and you're going to be just fine. Would you do a video on subscribers sending you lures? I have a top water I want you to try. Trent, that's a good question. Actually, if you watch my video, guys, I actually have a address that you can send your lures, that you can get them showcased possibly on my channel. So, guys, if y'all have lures you want me to do, or you want to be hosted on the background, see how Fisherman Central here. I love these guys, man. They're awesome people. Just awesome place to shop around at. I have them up there, but if you have something that you want me to showcase, send it my way. The address is in the descriptions below on most of my videos. So yes. Water that is in the. How would you fish water that is in the low 40s? Jeremiah Becker says, how would you fish water that is in the low 40s? It's hard to beat an Alabama rig and a jerkbait, Jeremiah. It's just that Alabama rig is just incredible. So I would strongly encourage a Alabama rig. How have you done on Lake Lanier over the years, Chris? I've got a very good track record on there. Love that lake. Great lake to fish. And it's a great lake. Anytime you got spotted bass, they're always going to be great place to go. And speaking of umbrella rigs, I just mentioned umbrella rigs. We can click on umbrella rigs and see what we got here. And I might be able to tell you some of the ones I like. The Hog Farmer is a really good one. Those guys are around the Tennessee area. You got another Hog Farmer that's got tons of blade. There's some without blades and there's some with blades. I do like my Alabama rigs to have blades. You'll have to look at your law, but just look at the selection. That's just page 1 of Fisherman Central, man. And here's page 2. Page 2 of umbrella rigs. So if you want umbrella rigs, Fisherman Central could definitely be there. What are some techniques every angler needs to know if they want to fish tournaments? Really, if I was fishing out of the back of a boat, it would be 3 rods. It would be my shaky head, no doubt. And I'm not just saying that because I invented the shaky head, Perfection Lure shaky head. It would be a shaky head, a drop shot, and a wacky worm. And I could take those 3 rods, go to any lake in the country, and do very well in the back of the boat and in the front. I mean, it's pretty much what everybody's throwing anyways. What are some... ever use vortex or vector hooks? I don't even know what vector hooks are. I don't even know. He might have them. Let's see if he even has them. Let's see here. We're going to scroll down to Terminal Tackle. Vector hooks. Vector, is it a worm hook? Or we could just search in the top. Let's see. No, I don't see it. I don't see it on vector hooks. What is a good tip to always get in a limit? That's a broad question, Ohio. But, those 3 rods that I just mentioned, a shaky head, a drop shot, and a wacky worm, you should be able to catch a limit on any place in the world that you go. Let's see. What is your favorite plastic fish? Vector is a new brand, Bill says. Is that actually, hey, Bill, is that actually like under a sister, is that a sister company, say like under Gamakatsu, or is Vector its own identity? What are your favorite worms to throw on a shaky head? I actually like Berkeley's bottom hopper. Zoom is a good one too, but the bottom hopper doesn't have as much salt in it. It's got the scent in it, and it stands up very well with my shaky head. Also, the Zoom trick worms stands up very well with my shaky head also. So, just it's a good one to throw. Asleep, good to see you here. Asleep, how are you asleep watching this video? Vector is a private company. What do you think of the new live scope style depth finders? Good question, Ron. Actually, I'm with Lawrence, who has Live Sight. I think at times, Ron, they're a distraction, and at times they can help you. But you have to learn. The problem is, Ron, you have to learn how to manage the distraction versus, you have to learn how to manage the distraction versus the. Let me see here. I'm trying to make this bigger. Nope. You have to learn how to manage the distraction. I'm trying to learn how to make myself bigger. I don't know how to do it. And let me talk to y'all about something here. Here's something I could talk to you. You see right here where I'm looking at, and I'm not picking on DM Custom Super Worm Hook, but you see this keeper system that they have right here, okay? There's, it looks like a great keeper system, but I'm warning you that too good is bad, okay? Too good, it creates its own. Too good is it creates its own. It's like a weed guard. So, yes, just received David Wycombe. Yep. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Hampton, what is your opinion of the Nico rig? The Nico rig, Hampton, is a definite player. I'm learning more and more about it. I haven't done a video on it yet, but I'm definitely going to be doing a video on the Nico rig. It is a lure that we all... one thing that I've struggled with the Nico is the hook. There actually is a Nico hook out there that I have tried. I've actually thrown that BTS 10 stinger hook made by Gamakatsu is the one I like. What's the best swim jig trailer? Good question, Chase. Swim jig trailers can... that net bait Paka chunk, I love that one during the spawn, and I use the senior chunk, the one with the big flappers. When the shad are spawning and they rolling all over each other, I really like those big flappers because it kind of looks like a bunch of shad spawning in one. Besides that, the Rage Crawl does well. Those two are probably my top two swim jig chunks. Ohio asks, can you do a rundown on the floating worm? Yep. Ohio, when it comes to floating worm, I like, depending on how clean the water is, if the water's fairly muddy, I go to a 5/0 offset round bend shaky hook, round bend worm hook, okay? If the water's pretty clear, I go to 4/0. Make sure you rig it crooked so it can do the walking. And you want to use vibrant colors. A lot of the times, especially early season, you just watched Mark Daniels do one on it. Actually, that's a good question. So you just gave me an idea for a video. Maybe that'll be my next video. You guys check it out. I will do a floating worm video, compliments of Ohio Bassmasters. That will be one of my next videos coming out. How about that, Ohio? So if y'all want to see a video, there he is. Will Perryman just checked in. Where have you been, my man? I just talked to your son, Peyote, a little while ago, and this guy right here is the king of comments. He comments everywhere we go. He actually won a trip with me by the comments that he made. Will Perryman is in the house. Hampton asks, so if y'all wondering what I'm drinking black cherry I think it's a Walmart brand, what that is. Black cherry. I don't like syrupy soda. I like clear sodas. Are you guys enjoying this conversation? Are y'all bored? I don't even know how many people are in here. But I enjoy you guys. You guys are commenting like incredibly a lot of time here. So let's see here. I caught a bunch of buck bass up shallow over the weekend, but couldn't. How long do males typically spend? That's funny. Okay, so southern Oklahoma, it actually asked me to show, because you were asking about females, hook up with females. Holy cow. They were talking about fish, YouTube. They were trying to block your comment there, southern Oklahoma. That's pretty funny. Daniel Rodriguez says he does not like this chat. Well, I think, Daniel, you know what to do. What are your favorite lures for post-spawn fishing? Typically post-spawn. Ron, good question. I'm going to go with a lot of top waters. It could be a pop, like a pop R. It could be a whopper plopper, buzz bait, wacky worm. Even that's not necessarily top water, but it's near the top of the water. There's some of my best ones. Let's see here. Bobby says he's loving the videos. I appreciate your support. Scott says I need to do more live stream. Rivers says he's enjoying this. I think he meant it was boring. Wow. Maybe not boring. Favorite topwater around the spawn? Again, Chris, it could be, I just mentioned it could be anything from, whopper plopper, pop R, buzz bait, or probably the three top water baits that I would say. Ever fish a lake in South Carolina? If so, do you have a favorite? Yeah, I like Lake Hartwell is a good one. Lake Murray is actually a good one. Both those lakes are really good lakes. What do you think the number one change you made in your professional material? Probably, you know what, Chase? What do you think the number one change you've made in? Probably going more to a spinning rod. I know I keep talking about it, Chase, but probably it's, I see you, Daniel. I'm mistaken you on that one. Let's see. Do you see a short fluoro leader to braid? No. Good question. I use a 12-foot leader is what I use, fluoro to leader. What's up? What's up, Robbie? Actually, Mark Jones said you could do a video on the perfect sandwich and I'd watch it. M. Jones says, actually, I just did a video and it didn't get many views, which I don't care, but I do love my trout fishing. I know you guys love to pick my brain about bass fishing, but I did a video, just released it yesterday maybe, or day before, on trout fishing, and I actually cooked it. No, I did a Facebook Live the other day. Not on my video, but I did a video on trout fishing. I cooked them on live on Facebook. So if you don't follow me on Facebook, I'm going to start doing some lives on there. What is the deepest bass you've ever caught on a wacky worm? Probably 25 feet. And I don't even know if he came from 25 feet. But a lot of times, especially in spotted bass fisheries, you can throw those things a long ways away and they'll come get them. There's Vector Hooks. All right, Vector Hooks is checking in. Never heard of him. Okay. Vector Hooks is checking in. So, Vector Hooks, actually in the description below some of my videos, I have an address where you can send some products for me to test out, give you my opinion on. So if you want to send some there, send some there. And actually, we probably need to get them. I might have some pull in getting you on Fisherman Central if I like your hooks. So if you send some hooks, don't just send one pack of this and one pack of that. If you truly want me to try your baits out, guys, I'm going to put them to the test. So if I get hung up and I don't want to worry about getting that hook free, I'm going to break it off. So there you go, Vector Hooks. Check it out. DM me on Instagram. Get me some hooks in my hand. I'm curious about them now. What is the best bait right now for the Coosa River? M. Jones says it's going to be hard to beat a shaky head. I would go with a light shaky head. I make an 1/8 ounce. Coosa River, you're going to have a lot of them spotted bass. They love it. Team it up with a finesse worm or a trick worm. I know you have lots of fly fishing gear. If you want to get some, shoot. Will, I ain't got no darn fly fishing gear. I don't swing the other way with that fly rod, man. David Wakeham, when will you be at Fisherman Central? That Dave, for loving the website, though, David, for sure. There we go. What is the most underrated bass fishery underrated, my man's asking me. Lake Cherokee. I think that's a good lake, man. What is your favorite fish to eat? Josh Becker says, when it comes to sushi, you cannot beat salmon. I like salmon, and then I like salmon and fatty tuna, salmon, fatty tuna, and then live scallops. But cooked fish, I don't care. I really don't. I like to eat cooked fish. It could, you got your white mussel fish, which are crappie, bass, flounder. That's all white mussel fish. So any of the white mussel fish, but white mussel fish don't have a lot of oils in them. That's why they're good for frying. Like, say, tuna is a red mussel. Salmon is a red mussel. They have tons of oils in them, and they just explode in your mouth, and I love it. What is your rod and reel setup for shaky head ratio? Also, is it the same setup you use for Ned rig fishing? Okay, so Ned rig fishing, good question, Matt. Ned rig fishing is different from Ned rig fishing is different, leader. But the rest of my setup, my rod and reel will always stay the same. My rod is going to be a 7'2" medium heavy on everything I throw on a spinning rod, and I use a 3,000 size spinning reel. So, if I'm not throwing a Ned head, I'm using 15-pound braid to whatever fluorocarbon I'm using for that particular, setup. So, let's see here. See the next question. John says, you've eaten bass. Yeah, I've actually eaten bass a few times when at the end of weigh-ins, if there was some dead fish, I've eaten the dead fish that have swallowed the Ned heads. Just kidding. I did a video on that, and that caused a lot of disturbance. Hey, Vance! That's my boy checking in. Vance. Do you use a braid to floor leader for flipping? No. If I'm in Grass, Ohio, I'm just straight braid. If I'm not in Grass, I will go to I'll go to a a fluorocarbon leader, a short one. Jeremiah says, how do you obtain sponsorships? You guys are asking awesome questions. That's like a whole, a big topic, but just make sure you let them know how you're working for them is the main thing, how you're working for them. What is your opinion on the Guggen baits and the Guggen squad? Have not used any of the Guggen baits, have not paid whatever the average is, $1.25 per bait. Haven't used them, don't know much about them. They could be good and they could be bad, but I haven't used them. I know they're on the website. I'm sure Guggen's is on here. Soft baits, we'll check it out. Or we can just do a search. Let's see. Guggen. Let's see. Yep, Guggen baits. Here we go. Oh, they got a good price too. So they got the worm. Which Guggen baits do you guys like? Okay, I'll ask you. They got a Guggen Cack and Crawl. They got the Dragon Drop. Oh, actually, I did. I used the Dragon Drop. Scott Martin gave me some when we were smallmouth fishing. They got the Trench Hog, the Bandito Bug. I haven't tried. Have any of y'all tried the Slim Shake Worm? I haven't tried it. It might be good. I don't know. If you could fish with any head to head with any fisherman, who would it be? Of course, if that's a good question. Scott says, if you could fish head to head with any fisherman, who would it be? Of course, I'm gonna go with some of the top fishermen. Give me KVD. Give me Jacob Wheeler. Give me Rick Clunn. I just want to fish with Rick Clunn anyways. You could say, give me Jacob Prosnick, which we fish together all the time anyways. We go head to head a lot. It's always fun when we get in a boat. Bandito Bug. What is the best fluoro you have used on a spinning reel? I use Gamma Fishing Line, which is, Gamma Fishing Line is what I put my career on. And a lot of people put their career on it. So, for sure. Any good April Fool's stories? Ohio, yeah, my daughter actually had this poo-poo thing. She said, Dad, come here, look. And I walked in the bathroom and I saw this fake poo-poo. I didn't know it at the time. She goes, Dad, somebody poo-pooed in the floor. And I walked away because I was mad. And she goes, April Fool's. So, yeah, she got me on an April Fool's joke. She actually put that up on Instagram. It's pretty funny. Hey, Top Gun Quarter Boy, he beat you a lot. Yeah, we just got through editing a video with Quarter Boy, and he beat me in a he beat me at, well, shoot, I just spilled the beans. He actually beat me again. But it's a funny video. It's always fun with Quarter Boy. So let's give away the second autograph crankbait. So you guys know how it works. If you just type in there, you say, I want one in the comments. Just say, I want one. I'm going to get you to DM me on Instagram and with your address, and I will mail this out to you, autographed to you. So I want you guys chiming in. Let's see it. Let's see it. Here we go. I want one. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to randomly pick. I can scroll up or down, or I can do it all. It don't matter, man. I can. Oh gosh, they are firing in. Here we go. I'm going to count it down. So here we go. When I get to 1, I'm going to count down 5, 4, 3, and so on. And when I get to 1, the name that I see is the one I'm going to go for. So here we go. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm closing my eyes and I'm going to open them. And whatever name I see and my eyes are still closed. Ready. Open. Michael Menon. You just won. DM me, Michael, on Instagram. Michael Menon. DM me on Instagram, and you have just won that crankbait. So, we'll answer a few more. You guys are still chiming in on that. Michael Menon won the crankbait. All right, so let's end it with this. A couple more questions, and we are going to go. Who's got a good question for me? Here we go. Come on. Daniel, you might win next time. Here we go. Yep. Had eyes. He said I had my eyes open. I didn't have my eyes open. Come on, man. Have one in a fish tank? No. That was a pretty cool question. That was a cool question, man. Say, let's see. You got a turtle. I'm sure I got turtles on my farm, but I don't have one as a pet. And company with the best green pumpkin. That's a cool question. I'm going to have to say Zoom. Zoom has the standard. Like when we pick colors, we always kind of set a standard with Zoom. So it's definitely going to have to be Zoom. What's up, Jeff Holland? My man who makes the most incredible beef jerky. Every kind of jerky you can imagine. My man. Have you ever tried fly fishing, he asked. Have you ever tried fly fishing for trout? No, I'm not a fly rod man. I've caught a few bluegill on a fly rod, but I've never tried one for trout. I don't want to do it that way. I would rather take a spinning rod, throw it over there. I don't want chasers. I don't want to lose them. I want to rip their lips. Rip them. So, guys, let me know this. Before you chime off, let me know this. Did you enjoy tonight? Because your comments are what keeps me going, running my mouth, getting time to go. Here it is, 9:30 at night. And what time would you like to see me do? You want to see me do live more? I can do live more because I can just sit here and talk. You guys are awesome. So, let me know what time works for you. Before I chime off, I'm going to wait for you guys, and I'm going to kind of look through them and see which ones you guys actually like the best, what time you like the best, and if you want me to do these more. Because you guys, I feel I got the best fans. I really do. I kind of see numbers of a lot of people, but it's like I've gotten to know you guys, like, personally. Like, Will, I got to know Will because he commented on my thing, and I gave him, we did a fishing trip together because he was one of the best commenters. So 9 o'clock, I see more 8 p.m.s. Looks like 9 o'clock, 7 to 8, 9. Wow, you guys are liking it late. Wow, never thought about that. 8:30ish, 8 o'clock. Wow. Okay, I learned a lot. Looks like we got 8 o'clock, 7 to 8, 9. Wow, if I just cut it in the middle, it looks like 8:30 would probably be the best. I got some people at 8 and then some people at 9. See, there's another 8. There's another 9. 8:30, 9 to 10. Wow, okay. All right. So we will try to do some more of these. You guys have been great to me. Thank you for checking in on this channel. Check out FishermanCentral.com. They have everything that you need for a great price. So check them out online. Thank you guys, and I am out.